Hello, welcome to Wholehearted Business TV. This is just a very quick one to talk about something that's on my mind today, and that's all around becoming successful. I've had a couple of clients ask me this week and some calls that I've been doing with some beautiful people about what tips I'd have for them about being more successful. And the one thing I want to share with you today about success is that your success is directly proportional to how often you're prepared to fail. It's not about just doing all the shiny things. It's not just about just having the big glossy appearance and everything. It's really down to how often you're prepared to fail. How often are you prepared to create an event and have no one show up? How often are you prepared to, write a blog post that just doesn't quite work, or maybe someone writes some really negative comments on it. Reach out to that client or that person that you really want to help, and they don't reply to you, or they reply back and just say, no, I'm working with her over there. It's just, we've really got to be prepared to fail, to continually to show up time and time again. And when it's not working, being okay and just learning from it and moving on. You learn, you move on. You learn, you move on. And as you go, like when I see women that are reaching out, getting people on the phone, doing free calls with them, and they get no after no after no offering their services, then they eventually get a yes. And then they get a few more no's, and then they get another yes. And then before you know it, they've got 1, 3, 5K months happening. And then they have the success, but they had to get all the no's first. It's all part of it. And you can decide what you think failure is, but it's hearing the no's. It's something not working. It's things completely falling apart on you. It's, people maybe I had a really weird comment this morning on here on my business page, a really, really weird comment. It was in another language. I translated and it just looked really, really weird. And in the past that would have triggered me a bit, but I just deleted it and blocked the person. That was it. I didn't think about it. Didn't take up any brain space. And I'm just like, whatever. And sometimes people can say things that are may be construed as being a little bit hurtful or a little bit unkind. I get very little of it. I actually got a lot more of it when I worked in my health practice, and particularly in nutrition, that people just really love to give their opinions and tell me I was wrong. If I talked about something like eating sugar-free, that I was completely wrong, and that it was really boring and I had it all wrong. And just and at the time I found it really hard, but now I just laugh at it and it's like, yeah, whatever, so what? And that's why I say an awful lot of the time when something's not working or somebody said something negative, I'm like, so what? And that's not just in my work, that's in my personal life as well. That not making it mean something, not creating a big story about it, learning, moving on. I have a look at myself, ask myself, what's that triggering within me, and just move on. Like a lot of the work that I do in my masterminds and groups is helping people to manage their own emotions. I don't manage their emotions. I don't manage their emotions. I facilitate and hold the space for them and help them to manage their own emotions by managing their thoughts around what's going on, particularly when someone asks for a refund, someone tells them their program or something isn't good enough, and it can completely close them down. And I really help them to see it, and they know as they go on, the more the experience they get in business, the more often these kind of things happen. Not that they happen that often, but they are a normal part of business. And if they happen once out of 100 times of being told something really good, and then one time out of 100 being told something really negative, it's the negative stuff that very often just can shut women down in business and completely, it's like a big stop sign, a big brick wall in front of them. They go boom, and then they stop and they nearly go backwards. And it's these things are all a normal part of business, but we get to decide by the way we choose to think about them, what they mean to us, what kind of story we create them, what kind of emotions we get, what kind of, they will trigger very often past experiences, and this can be harsh. And very often it's giving messages of things you need to work on, and sometimes you need to go and work on things on a bit of a deeper level with someone who specialises in that area. But it can all be seen as failure. We very often see these experiences as failure, and they're a normal part of business. They're an expected part of business. They are they're actually good things to happen. And I want you to sort of nearly welcome failure, nearly welcome things not going right, because the more you fail, the more you will succeed. So I want you to go out there and actually say, come on, failure, come on, only come on. Negative comments, whatever, just, give them to me, show me them. And be mindful of the emotions that come up, the thoughts that you have about it, and the emotions that come up. And know that you can change your thoughts around them. You can say, so what? You can say, no big deal. You can say, I wonder what's up with them. And it doesn't have to become a big story and a reason why you don't keep moving forward. If you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, you keep moving along. And it's just... loving the comments here. It's just all a really important part of being in business. So keep showing up, keep being visible. I was just talking in my group about being visible. So if you're not in my group, if you're not in Wholehearted Women's Business, get yourself over there, request to join, and I'd love to see you in there. And you can practice being visible, practice failing, and in a really safe, supportive environment, and just keep going. So my message today, the secret of success is to be prepared to fail. The more you fail, the more you'll succeed. So that's all for me today. Lots of love to you from me, Sarah Leather, from thesarahleather.com, your Wholehearted Business Coach. Bye for now.